How do you find commission-based recruiting agents in different countries? Many universities are starting to use or expand their commission-based recruiting networks, since it can be a cost-effective and high-performing recruiting channel if it is properly managed. The direct payment to the agents only occurs if you enroll a student. Of course, there are other costs involved, such as overhead and managing the network, but you have a local representative and you really only incur the direct expense if you get a student enrolled. So let's talk about how to choose these agents because they're representing your local brand. How do you find reputable, knowledgeable agents? So we'd like to give you a few tips. Tip number one, the obvious answer is ask your colleagues. And some of them may be willing to share their agents with a good experience if you're not a competitive school. Tip number two, go to the internet. Some schools are very transparent about the networks of agents they're using. In the United States, for example, SUNY, the State University of New York, and the University of Cincinnati are two sources of long lists of agents. The University of Cincinnati has many years of experience, and you can be somewhat assured that they have vetted and used many of these agents. The SUNY system had a large tender to recruit and select these agents, so as a result, you probably get larger agencies since those are the ones that could go through a public tender process. Another source can be the Australian universities, because in Australia, the universities are actually required to publish the names of the agents. So you see on the internet, you can actually find a lot of agents. You have to do the work of contacting them, and you will have to also sometimes convince these agents that your school is a good source for future enrollment. The market is fluid. There are all the time new agents coming in, but of course, you will have to do your homework and due diligence. Two other tips we'd like to give you. Source number three can be the American International Recruitment Council. It's a standard-setting organization. They vet and audit commission-based agents around the world. You can get their list on their website as well. It's publicly available of which agents have been certified. The advantage of the organization is that you have experienced, vetted, most of the time larger agencies. The flip side is these are larger agencies and they will be quite selective in what new clients, what new universities they will take on. But the organization is also taking on efforts to select smaller agencies to increase the group of audited agents available. Just to be clear, you do not have to be a member of ERC to use these agencies, so they can be publicly available. And lastly, just for full disclosure, we're actually working with ERC. We've been at their events, we present there, and they're a good source of general knowledge of using agent-based, commission-based agents. Lastly, let me introduce ICEF. ICEF.com is an organization that organizes fairs where agents and universities meet. Same disclosure, we have worked with ICEF and we're present and we're a sponsor there. But let me tell you what ICEF does. They organize these, I'd call them casually speed dating between university representatives and agent representatives. You meet for about 30 minutes and then you turn over to the next agent. So it allows you to meet a great number of agents in a very efficient way. After all, this is a German company, throughout a few days. So these were our 4 tips how to find additional commission-based recruiters around the world.